Hi there and welcome back to Planescape Torment. I'm Byron and we are talking to old Mabeth here, if we can actually hit her. I had some questions for you. Are you a witch, Mabeth? Mabeth scrutinizes you. I say not as to what I am and isn't, but what you be wanting to know so full bad that you hound an old woman barking and sniffing for a juicy bit of gossip. I want to learn about magic. Could you teach me? Mabeth laughs. Pah, I'm no teacher, no schoolmistress all set up to teach like them in the big fest hall. There's others somewhere, I'm sure, that spill the dark of it. You'd be wasting your time with old Mabeth, so you would. I don't agree. I think you'd have a lot to teach. Mabeth looks at you intently. Oh, I? Why do you want to learn such things? Because I may need to solve the mystery of who I am. After a moment, Mabeth nods. The art may help, it may not, and you must not rely on it to solve all your problems. She sighs. Child, it's most like only going to add another chip to your pile of questions. I understand. Will you teach me? Pah! Mabeth shakes her head. One should make songs rather than make magic. Songs have more beauty. Magic's been made dull, commonplace, sold by the mob of people that have trumped through it. She squints at you. I'll teach you. But first you need to do some things for me, you hear? Like what? My legs aren't good for walking about Sigil, and there's errands I'd have you run. I need you to fetch me some herbs from the market. It's spireward, easterly, southerly from here, in the hive market. There's a sample. She takes a black seed from her coat and flicks it to you.
Updated my journal.
Examine the seed. You twist the black seed in your hand. As you do, you feel a small bite, then a small drop of blood oozes from your thumb. There are tiny barbs on the seed, like teeth. Mabeth snorts. Careful with it. Show it to one of the fruit merchants at the market. They will know what herbs you seek. Very well then, I'll return when I have the herbs. And we have to do a few errands. Yeah, I'm sorry, it can't be helped. Things we do for love, or, you know, for becoming a mage. So, to the market. I would be here. So let's see who sold the herbs. Was it you? We meet again. Some sea plums today? Arboreal fire seed? Mabeth, the midwife of the square, needs some herbs sprung from the seed here. Can you help me? 500 XP. The man takes the seed, looks at it critically. As he presses it between his thumb and forefinger, he winces and a small drop of blood appears on his thumb. Ah, this seed's got a bite on it. I noticed that. Do you have the herbs she's talking about? He can't seem to take his eye off the seed. Lad, I don't know if there's anyone who has what your friend seeks. To be square, I've never seen such a seed before. You would need someone who cultivates a seed such as this, for I have none. Very well, then where would I find such a person?
My journal.
Don't know the dark of that, friend. He hands the seed back to you. You'd be hard pressed to find the garden and the hive. Maybe Mourns for Trees could help. Farewell. Okay, Mourns for Trees was in another portion of the hive, if I remember correctly. Was it this one? Yeah, it probably was this one. Somewhere around here, if I remember correctly. There he is. Mourns for Tree smiles widely upon seeing you. Ah, my friend, you've returned. The tree seems to improve each day. Something you wished of me? Yes, I had some questions. I need some herbs sprung from the seed. Can you help me? Mourns for Trees takes the seed from you and holds it up to his eye. What an odd seed. Are those teeth along the edge? Barbs, perhaps. Where did you come by it, friend? Old Mabeth, the midwife of the square, needs some herbs sprung from that seed. Do you know where I could get some? No. Mourns for Trees continues to stare at his seed in his hand. This is the only seed of its kind I've ever seen. Ah! He winces, and a spot of blood glistens on his thumb. The barbs on it are sharp indeed. Perhaps you should hold it. So you can't help me either? Unless you can make that one grow, I cannot. Again, I've never seen a seed of its like before, friend. If we wanted it to grow enough, is it possible to make it grow? Mourns for Trees looks at the seed. Perhaps, if you cared enough to see it grow? Focus on the seed. Will it to grow. And 500 more XP. To your surprise, there's a crack, and the seed splits, twigs splitting from its surface like fingers. Instinctively you drop the seed, but the tenon-like twigs wrap around your wrist and will not let go. What the hell's?
Updated my journal.
Mourns for Trees stares at the barbed branches wrapped around your wrist, stunned. I think the barbs on those new branches would be more than enough for what your friend needs. I hope she can get this damn thing off of me. Oh, no, we don't have questions. Goodbye. But I do hope she can get this damn thing off of me. So, we leave. It doesn't show in the inventory. Okay, and from here we go to the northwestern portion. Where is it? Here. What is that? Oh well, it's probably just stuff that I dropped. Unimportant. Although you could try and pick it up. Yes, a few daggers. And what do we have here?
Endure. In enduring, grow strong.
And back to Ragpicker Square. And back to the midwife's hut.
Done.
Come on, you can do it. Get away and get in. Can I sell you stuff? Oh, she doesn't buy that. But somebody bought it at the market probably. Mabeth turns as you enter and gives you a skeptical eye. Your path brings you back here, does it, child? I returned with those herbs you wanted. Now maybe you can get this damned bramble patch off my wrist. Is that so? Mabeth glances at the barbs that surround your wrist. If so, think it off then. Okay, do so.
Updated my journal.
Creaking and snapping, the black barbed branches unravel themselves from your wrist and form into a tangled ball of brush and twigs. It looks like a nest of dead black snakes. Mabeth snorts. Think it into a picture frame or some such. Something with more structure and less angles. Concentrate on the barbed ball, then imagine it as a picture frame. Add more XP, and the branched ball creaks, the twigs bending and twisting until the branches have bent themselves into a small picture frame, 2 handspans on a side. Almost unconsciously you imagine shape the barbs to be back on the frame so it can be hung from the wall easily, and as an afterthought you remove the remaining barbed to the inside on the frame so it can be picked up by the edges. How's that? Mabeth stares at the frame for a moment and cackles. Ha! Square enough it is. Good work, child, good work. She picks up the frame and scrutinizes it. This'll do nicely. Is that all you wanted it for? Aye, well, this is enough. She sniffs. Aye, but there was one thing I forgot to tell you to fetch when you left last time. It'll take you back to the merchant square, it will. Look for the cloth seller, Griscall. He has some rags of mine that he was supposed to wash, and long it has been since I first asked him to do it. You could have mentioned that before I left. Alright, I'll be back. And back to the square. Yeah, we'll be running along, forth and back quite some time. Till we have this mess sorted out. Nothing we can really do about it. You wanna be a mage, you gotta suffer. But then again, with a high intelligence, you might wanna be a mage. Market.
Done.
Oh, maybe we could sell the steel to you? Those little daggers? Thanks. Okay, you. You do the cleaning. I'm here to pick up someone's wash. Mabeth, the midwife. Rag picker square. Giscor blinks. Wash clothes? Yes, Mabeth. Rag picker square? Rag picker? He taps his finger as if counting something. I know, I remember. He holds up a trembling finger as if telling you to wait. Wait for him to fetch the wash. And 500 more XP. He comes back with a flattened mass of green rags, thin as paper, yet so stiff they look like they could double as wooden boards. The rags are so caked with greenish lime starch that they look like it would take years of soaking to relax them. How many times did you clean these? Giscor wash clothes. Starch cloth. Every 5th day. Wash clothes, starch clothes every 5th day. His eyes flicker. Griscor wash many years. Always starch clothes on 5th day. Griscor's ritual. But they are ruined. Wash cloth is Griscor's ritual. His voice is flat, almost zombie-like. Must starch cloth every 5th day. What's the point of doing it every 5 days when they don't need? Oh, never mind, just hand them over. Give cloth. He nods, then hands you the rags. They're heavy. It's like carrying an armload of bricks. I'll take them back to Mabeth now. Farewell. Well, that was fun. Back to the exit then.
Done.
Here we have something in, wow, 15 stones. Here something in the inventory. This is a flattened mass of green rags, thin as paper yet so stiff they look like they could double as wooden boards. The rags are so caked with a greenish lime starch that they look like it would take years of soaking to relax them. Perhaps Mabeth can find a way to salvage them, but you think that would be beyond anyone's abilities. And up here. And back to Mabeth.
Done.
Guess who's back? Mabeth seems lost in twisting the black branched picture frame you made for her. She's squaring the edges and snapping off some of the barbed seeds on the branches. She suddenly notices you and sets down the frame. Aye, child? I brought your wash. I think Griscor was a little heavy on the cleaning ritual though. She takes the stacks of starch green rags from you and she examines them critically. At least they won't tear, she sighs, or bend. What was with that cloth merchant Giscor? His hands were all scarred and he seemed slow. Mabeth is still turning the cloth over in her hands, tapping it with her finger. Well, child, sometimes one burns with the art and sometimes the art burns ye. Is that what happened to him? Mabeth clicks her tongue. Mayhap. There's some for who using the art is like breathing. They strolls about with pointy heads and stinkweed pipes. Then there's hedge wizards and plain-touch gypsies and fortune casters and half-seers and midwives who flicker with the art. Them have a harder time of it. And Griscoll was one of them? Mabeth nods. Aye, so to speak, in some ways he is no different now than he was. Addicted to habit and ritual he was. She sets down the stiff rags. They clunk as she places them on the floor. Aye, now there's one last thing I need from you, child. Of course, what do you need? Only this. I need some inks for scribing some ingredients in one of me cookery books. I need you to fetch some from one of the merchants. Cosa Jai be her name. Alright then, I'm off. Farewell. Back to the market. So, but this luckily is the last time.
All right.
3 times the charm, like they say. And since we want to be a mage, charm it is. I wish there was a way to, like, shortcut this, but I guess there isn't. So,
I'm gone.
let's see. Who do we need? There, Cosa J. The old woman gives you a gummy smile. Some fish, my child? Fish heads? A cloying fish smells around her. Mabeth said you sell ink. She sent me to purchase some. Ink? She chuckles. Nay, sir, I sells no ink. I sells just fish. Are you sure? Mabeth, the midwife in Ragpicker Square, mentioned you specifically. Heh, well, Cosa J was me dame's name and me granddame's name. So it could be any of us. Yeah, yet they're both in the dead books, so only this Cosa J matters. No idea what she's on about. A midwife in the Picker Square, you say? She thinks for a moment. Don't know her, I don't. Well then, she said you would be able to help me, but if that's not the case, never mind. Now hold on, your midwife's friend not all wrong. I know how you can get ink, but it may not be the ink you're looking for. The ink I'm thinking of bleeds from the gills of a Brogota fin. It does. But you don't have this Brogota fin, right? She frowns. Aye, thing is, that fish is not for eating. It's got a horrible taste, scalds the tongue. You can ask Miriam. She pitches all her fish sell down on the street a southern way. She cackles. She might have one of them fish he needs on her pole. I'll go and seek her out then. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
So, I think wait. Was there something in here? Oh, it's locked, really. Unlock it.
Opened. Your will be done.
We don't need that. So, I think she was somewhere around here.
Done.
There. Well met again, sir. What can I do for you? Have you heard of a Brogota fin? I was told it bleeds ink from its gills. She blinks, then nods. Aye, that fish is a strange one, it is. Not many have heard of it, and less want to eat it. Difficult to kill, and even in death, it still seems to live. Not many want to latch their teeth around something that still writhes. Do you have one?
Updated my journal.
Aye, but the ink, you need something to carry it in. Have you a bowl or a cup or a chance? A tankard. Maybe one of the merchants is selling one. Farewell. And back to the market. There was this pretty girl, I think it was her. She sold cutlery and stuff. The woman smiles warmly at your approach. Hello again, sir. And what would you like to purchase this day, Now, what are you selling right now? I sell plates, cups, jugs, tankards, cutlery and the like, sir. All of quality, sir, the finest. She steps back and lifts the lid of the crate on the wagon behind her. Please look over my goods. Should you have any question, feel free to ask. I need something to hold ink in. Do you have a tankard or a goblet for sale? She nods. Oh yes, many kinds. They range in price from a few coppers to several hundred. Actually, I'm looking for the cheapest one you have. She raises an eyebrow. She reaches into a crate at her side, then throws a battered looking tankard at you. It is covered in dents and its handle looks like it's about to fall off. This one looks like it was used on someone's skull. She smiles slightly. It'll do. Thanks and farewell.
Updated my journal.
Yeah. So we have a tankard now. Back to
Done.
the fish selling woman. Yeah, it looks like it was used to bash in someone's skull. I brought a tankard. Can I get the ink from the fish in it? She nods and plucks a fish from her pole. It twitches as she grabs it, then starts slashing about as she begins to twist it like a rag. She wrings it until bluish-black ichor begins to trickle from the fish's gills. When your tankard is almost full, she relaxes her grip and throws the twitching fish into a sack at her side. Thanks and
Updated
farewell.
my journal.
And now we have an ink-filled tankard. This tankard is currently holding a mass of ink from a Brogota fin fish. Hopefully, this is the last damn thing Mabeth needs from the marketplace. Yeah, it actually is. I couldn't handle any more requests, truth be told. But I think we're good. And back to Ragpicker Square. And we enter the hut. Guess who's back? Mabeth is tugging at the mass of greenish lime starched rags you brought from Griscor. She seems to be purposely fraying the edges as if to peel them apart somehow. When she hears you approach, she turns. Aye, child? Here's the ink you wanted. And 1000 more XP. Mabeth takes the tankard of ink from you, then sniffs it. Prime ink, fresh it is, aye? She nods at you. You've done well, child. All I've asked. Now I ask you again. After all you've seen, do you still want to learn the art? Yes, after all, the guiding goal of your errands was to test my persistence, was it not? Mabeth smiles, then nods. Yet, yes, mayhap, child, mayhap. And that's not all. You knew who I had to see to accomplish each errand, didn't you? Mabeth nods again, slower this time. Mayhap, child, mayhap. Even so, what did your senses tell you about them? Mourns for trees showed me that my beliefs affect the world around me. Giscol taught me that ritual is a wasted effort if the purpose of the ritual is ignored. Miriam taught me that no matter how much I think I know, there's still much I can learn from another's eyes. Mabeth is silent for a moment, then she walks slowly over to you and touches you on the cheek. Oh, child, she sighs. You will be a master sorcerer one day, you will. You have the knowing of it. Yet, you've come to old Mabeth for help, you have. What could a midwife teach such a one? Much, Mabeth. I want to learn all you have to teach. And 2000 more XP. So you'll walk the path then. Mabeth pauses. Well, first things firstly. Just having the knack for the art isn't enough. You need some means of giving it focus, usually spells. The spells are usually in a book, so the art demands you have a spell book, or it's like a 4. You can cast spells. Can you read? Yes. Then let's test it. Can you read this? Mabeth draws forth a small tattered card. It looks like a recipe. Examine the recipe. The writing on the recipe swims before your eyes, each symbol twisting out of focus whenever you try to read it. Almost instinctively, you relax your eyes, allowing them to take in the page all at once, and the symbols suddenly bleed together. The recipe lists measurements, ingredients. It appears to be some minor divination. This is a minor divination, isn't it? It looks like it's a spell that allows the user to see the nature of an item, to see whether it's enchanted or not. Mabeth's eyes widen. Who are you to best all Mabeth so? Are you some fiend? No, well, not to my knowledge. What's wrong?
Updated my journal.
Well, not expecting it, was I? She nods at the recipe, then plucks it out of your hand. What you see is written in the language of the art. If ye are not a mageling yet, it should be all a swirl jumble of mishmash. She snaps her finger, yet clear as crystal. You pluck the sense of it right up. May I be tell old Mabeth why that is? I think I may have known once, but forgot. Seeing the symbols just jot my memory. Or else a natural gift you may have. No matter, no matter. We've just shaved seasons off of your learning you have. Mabeth harumphs. And I'd been looking for someone to handle the chores around here I had. If you need help with anything around here, you can still ask. It's the least I can do in exchange for you teaching me. No, don't worry yourself about that, she frowns. Well, you can read spells well enough, but spells are no good to you without a book to put them in. Do you have one? Mabeth glances around the hut, then she catches sight of the black bob picture frame you made. She picks it up carefully and studies it. This'll do. That thing is just a frame. Ah, but so are ye, child. Still holding the frame, she picks up one of the starched rags you got from Giscol. With a yank, she pulls off the greenish starched surface film. It flutters in the air like a wispy bit of cloth. Whatever Giscol uses in the wash, it works better than curing, stretching and stoning does on a normal rag. Can't afford parchment, I can't. Parchment? She takes the starchy film and pulls it over the black barbed frame, latching the rag's edges onto the hooks around the frame until it looks like a small greenish black painter's canvas. It's missing something. Well, it needs something painted on it. She nods. Or written on it. She takes the tankard of ink you've given her and sets it down next to her. She dips one of her fingernails into the tankard, then draws it out, mumbling to herself. She begins to scratch symbols onto the frame one by one, still mumbling to herself. We wait. All's done. Mabeth stands, drying her ink-stained fingernail on her robe. She tilts her head, regarding the strange framed page in front of her. A page for your spellbook it is. She indicates you should pick it up. So we take it. Inside your spellbook are your recipes, your spells, if you will. As long as they sit in the book, though, they're just words. She taps her head. The art demands you pluck the magic out of the book and put them in your attic, your head, before you can tap their power. Go on. You put them in your attic by studying them, memorizing them. You usually need a rest first before you can do this, though. Any questions? No, Mabeth. Oh, no questions. Well, now you should have questioned. You should have questions. You know alls about how to memorize spells, do you? You're a sharp one. You sure don't need any more of Mabeth's words, all a gobbling up your precious time. You're a master sorcerer already. Oh god, of course I know how to memorize spells. It's not the first AD&D game. Forgive me, Mabeth. I meant no questions on what you said. Please explain how to memorize spells. Humph. Alright then. Here's the talk of how you memorize the spells. Pick the spells you want to stick in your head from your spellbook before you go to sleep. When you wake in the morn, they'll be buzzing in your head like flies ready to be let out. How many spells can I cast? You can cast only one, maybe 2 spells before needing to rest again. As a tiny flitting mageling, there isn't much room in your attic. So use your spells wisely until you get wiser in the art. As your power increases, you'll get more room in your attic for spells. Alright, go on. You can only cast spells you've memorized, so if you want to use the art to say meant something twice, you need to memorize the spell how many times? Twice. Twice, right enough. How can I get more spells?
Updated my journal.
Mabeth shrugs. Keep your eyes and ears out for learning. Even common folks might have some minor magics to teach. There's also scrolls, recipes, books, and even some stranger items that have spells inscribed on them. If you find one, just examine it close and copy it into your book if you want it. Got it. I can also show you more spells if you return, especially when you have a little more of the planes in you. I'd appreciate it. Thanks. Before you go, child, you need some magics for you to whet your appetite. Mabeth rummages in her robe, then pulls forth 3 small recipes, which she passes to you. You should copy these into your book, so they can go into your attic as soon as possible. Thanks,
Updated my
Mabeth.
journal.
And 5000 XP. Wait, there's more. Mabeth fishes a tiny bundle of black cloth from her apron and unrolls it, producing a pair of amber earrings. These will protect you on your travels, child. I no longer wear them myself, so go ahead and take them. Thanks again. Alright, child, don't tarry any longer. One such as ye has other ways to spend one's time rather than hang around old Mabeth. Come on, Mabeth, you're not old. Pa, you flatterer, your tongue is so lined with silver it's shame your barge is so. Get your hints. Thanks for everything, Mabeth. Pa, you can thank me by not playing the alcove with what you've learned. The arts damned many a fool who sought to bend it in ways the art weren't meant to bend. Now get along with you. Farewell. So, what did we get? First of all, we can finally use those runes to actually copy spells into our spellbook. Oh, that spell is already in our spellbook. And what was that here? Okay, so we can sell the other ones. What else do we have? What is that? Identify. Very well. Blood Bridge. Not too shabby. Chromatic Orb. Very nice. Remove Curse. Fist of Iron. Armor. We already have that. Scroll of Strength. Identify. Yeah, okay, we already have that. And Chromatic Orb. We already have that. Could you scribe those spells, my friend? What's with this one here? Okay. So we can now use the Mage's Guard. It should reduce armor class, or give us an armor class of 6. Let's see, we have 7 now. 3. And we have Amber Earrings plus 2 to armor class. These earrings are made from hardened sap of the razor wine. When properly prepared, items made from this substance can be enchanted with powerful spells of protection. 3. 1. Okay. Finally a decent armor class for the nameless one. Can you scribe that? Yes. Oh, you already have that. Very well. What was that here? Oh, you can't use that. Only by thieves. We don't have thieves. Well. Let's take a look at our spell book. Okay. We have 4 level 1 spells and no level 2 spells available here to learn. We know a few. So now we are mage of the 1st level. Since I didn't level up as a fighter anymore, I can level up now as a mage. I get an additional hit point. And we can soon level up again. We're level 3 now. That means we can probably get a few more mage spells. So what do I want? Maybe an armor? Or maybe like an identify? and a few chromatic orbs. At least till I have a magic missile. That's not too shabby. What is that? A bizarre compact of the healer's heart and the merchant's mind. This necromantic spell transforms your very body into a marketplace that barters life and death. Your life essence can be given to others at the cost to yourself. When cast, the mage can select any living non-undead target within touch range and drain life from himself and give it to the target. Why would I want to do that? So I can increase my strength, I guess. And what do we have here? So you will probably get a Okay, better AC and saving throw, magical missile. That's not too shabby. It's a buff for everyone, +1 to hit, +1 to saves. A debuff for the enemy. Okay. So we could probably rest now. Wow, we need permission. Could I rest in here? She nods. Of course, child. I have a mess of blankets in the corner that would serve. That would be fine, thank you. And now we have rested for 8 hours and can actually cast spells. See? Amazing! Yes, the nameless one is level 3 mage now. I will play as a mage, but to be neutral good. Okay, this is our alignment, not too bad. Okay, so that's pretty much for this video. So, thank you very much for watching, and see you soon. Bye!